role ko is to really to provide an overview of this module. No? Dun sa present kanina ni Pedi, tsaka dun sa input ni Dr. Ben, pinakita yung flow of our discussion for the next 2 days in relation to social and solidarity economy. No? We're now at the first module, yung first level. No? And hopefully, the overview will provide a good introduction, conceptual and rational reason kung bakit we want to focus on the next 2 speakers who will talk about their community, their enterprise, and their area, and how they form solidarities with each other. No? The topic is social enterprises and value chain development. Mark? Ito yung structure ng Philippine society. No? Alam natin, at least 1/4 of the population is poor. And that's the majority. And next, and we know that there are various pathways from poverty, from a poverty situation to prosperity. No? And one pathway is through the enterprise pathway. Ito naman ang structure of enterprises. The enterprises in the Philippines. No? The biggest chunk ng ating universe of enterprises are what? No? These are 91.6%. These are the micro. 91.6 plus the small, which is 7.7. That's 99.3. 99.3 of enterprises are micro and small. The rest, 0.7, are medium and large. No? That's practically the structure of the enterprises. And, balik natin. This is in 2008. No? I could imagine there would be more. No? Ito yung universe. This is a survey of us in 2008 of 726,409 enterprises. And 99% of that are micro and small. No? Ang social enterprises dyan, based on academic research done by the Institute of Social Enterprises in Asia, is around 30,000 social enterprises, more or less, or 4%. No? Ang liit ng social enterprises, these are the social enterprises that practice 2 or more bottom lines: social, financial, and environmental, or even edifying values and good governance. Next, why social enterprise? No? Madaling sabihin, because it's multiple bottom lines. No? Ang enterprise, yung traditional enterprise, single bottom line lang, no? Profit. No? Kung pula na ang profit, then they stop. No? Yung mga corporate social responsibility foundations or companies, pagka in the red na ang profit ng ng kanilang korporasyon, ang unang masasacrifice sa kanilang operations would be the social and environmental bottom lines. They would start paying below the minimum wage. They would start practicing production processes that harms the environment in order to save the company. No? Social enterprise, because it's value creating economic and financial values. There is social equity. Ito yung mantra ngayon of the current Philippine government, is to provide inclusive growth, no? Participation and control and ownership. Inclusion, in other words, of the marginalized sector. And third, ecological sound and regenerative. At the very least, these are the 3 bottom lines that we at FSSI, in support of the solidarity economy movement, is supporting. No? But there's a deeper context of why we should focus on social entrepreneurship or multiple bottom line enterprise practice than the usual enterprise definition, no? Or operations. The policy environment in the Philippines is such that it has failed to sustainably reduce poverty through its micro, small, and medium enterprise programs or projects, and even its policy. No? While there is a good microfinance environment in the Philippines, in fact, the BSP was voted as one of the best central banks, no, that has a good microfinance framework. No? And repeatedly, ang central banker of the year, central banker of several years is our present BSP governor. No? While microfinance has contributed to alleviating poverty, some parts of it, studies show only 3% of microcredit borrowers or beneficiaries graduate from a livelihood framework, from being necessity entrepreneurs. These are informal petty trading to near small and small enterprises or regular businesses. At that rate, 3%, no, out of 100 borrowers, 3% lang yung nakakapag-graduate from a backyard cottage industry to a regular business outside the household. We will only have, we will reduce poverty by half in 800 years through microcredit. Yan ang rate ng microcredit. No? And a lot of cooperatives, microcredit, microfinance institutions have realized this. No? That's why they are shifting, no, from an extensive outreach, no, to a deeper interventions and development. The poor are also treated as clients, no? Transactional recipients. Receivers lang sila. Beneficiaries, no? I remember 20 years ago sa NEDA, ang tawag namin dyan, beneficiaries. Ngayon, sa NGO, partners na. No? They are not participants in their own poverty reduction. So, yun yung pag-aaral. No? Next. Ito, ang nasisilbihan ng microfinance. No? And this is culturally part of us. No? Sari-sari stores. No? When we say sari-sari stores, we see one every corner. No? Diba? Kung walang solidarity, individual sari-sari stores. Yung kapitbahay mo, uy, malakas ang bakery niya. Tayo rin ako ng bakery. Tayo rin ako ng sari-sari store. Instead of pulling together, instead of mutually agreeing to partner. No? So we have charcoal. No? Makita mo yan sa countrysides. When you travel from Nueva Ecija, from Cabanatuan to Bungabon, maraming uling dyan. Galing Isabela. No? Fruits, vegetables, no? Kakanin, delicacies. No? When we go to Cebu, anong gusto natin? Lechon. Kopra, no? Si June, nagpapabili. Pag pupunta ako ng Irusin, Sorsogon, anong gusto ni June? Pili. No? Alimango, di ba? Sa Bataan, marami yan. Dried fish. Firecrackers, anong province, anong munisipyong Bukawi, Bulacan. Soap, detergents, San Miguel, Bulacan. Karaoke, no? Basta may mga truck, nandun may mga karaoke dyan. Cigarettes, ilod, vinegar, saan yung vinegar? Marami, no? Pinakurat, paumbong. You have house cooking wares, brooms, anong magandang, saan bumibili ng walis tambo? Ha? Baguio, pero gawa yun ng Bataan. Or gawa ng San Antonio, Nueva Ecija, di ba? So yun yung typical na enterprise, individual, kalat-kalat. You see them, no? Second, policy environment. Policies, laws, and issuances governing micro, small, and medium enterprises have not adequately served the MSME sector and the marginalized sectors. In fact, they are serving the medium, and largely they are providing funds to the large. No? The missing middle is still missing. No? The country's industry has not changed for the past 2 decades. Ito, inamin mismo ng Department of Trade and Industry. Despite the Magna Carta for the MSME, the Bambi Law, the Agri-Agra laws enforcement have been problematic. In fact, banks have decided to just pay the penalty if they do not meet the criteria ng Agri-Agra, no? And the intended goals have failed miserably. Even government has admitted that. This is a typical enterprise, no? Is it registered? Does it pay taxes? May health clearance? May resibo, may bagong resibo na may BIR. This is an enterprise in Guimaras. Years ago, when I first visited this, meron pang honey dyan. They produce honey at a commercial scale, no? And malaki ang potential, no? But now, recently, just last month, I visited this, wala nang honey dahil wala nang bubuyog. The bees have gone, no? Because of climate change. So there is a cause for for multiple bottom line. Social enterprises with the poor as primary stakeholders that are social and mission-driven, wealth-creating organizations has a differentiation with the ordinary enterprises. The private enterprise, as defined by the neoliberal, yung kalakaran na mainstream, no? In terms of primary stakeholdership. In the private enterprise, the stockholders are the owners. No? The owners are the ones who set it up. Yung nangapital, no? Capitalist. In a social enterprise, the owners and the stakeholders are the poor, the marginalized sectors, engaged as suppliers, workers, clients, and or owners, partners in poverty reduction. Primary objectives, single bottom line ng private enterprise. Social enterprise will have at least double or triple bottom line of poverty reduction, environmental, financial sustainability as supportive objectives. The enterprise philosophy of the private enterprises are accumulative. They accumulate wealth, and then that wealth is distributed sa stockholders depending on their proportion of their ownership. And every year, there is a stockholders meeting, and then there is a sharing of dividends. No? In a social enterprise, there is distribution. Positive benefits accrue to the society, especially among the broad segments of the poor. So yun yung kaibahan. That's why we are pushing for social entrepreneurship. No? Second is why value chain development. This is the basic value chain. This is a typical sector economy wherein you have production, distribution, and consumption. The basic question here in our context, no, in a neoliberal context, who are the actors in the value chain? Who are doing primary production? Who are producing the palay? Who are processing the palay? Sinong nagmamarket? Who buys them? Who consolidates them? And then who consumes? What are the markets? Who controls and dominates the chain? Are they poor? Are they middle class? Are they the 1% elite, economic elite? Those are the basic questions. So the value chain analysis is a neutral analysis or method that we can use, no? And here, makikita natin yung kanina sinasabi, who are the well-off, who are the ones who are not well-off and out of the chain. No? So, ito yung situation ngayon. No? In an ecosystem, in a community, the 0.3% no? Of corporations and conglomerates, yung 0.3, that is only 287 in this earlier survey, no? Or sabihin na natin top 1,000, they dominate the ecosystem. They dominate the community. You have conglomerates in mining, power, and logging in the protected areas. You have corporations in the lowland who are doing mass production. In fact, GMO-based. They are using chemical pesticides, chemical fertilizers. They own the economic facilities, the dryers, the threshers, the millers, the warehouse. They own power distribution companies. They have banks. They are into real estate, hospitals, no? Schools, manufacturing, trading services, wholesale. No? These are your 0.3%. Of course, it's a consumer economy that is liberal, so ang values niyan would be the mass media should be controlled. No? You have a mass media that promotes the best branded products, global products, the products that are espoused by the Hollywood and the popular culture. You have transport that is owned by, controlled by the economic elite. You have a hospital system that is privatized. You have education owned by the big conglomerates. In fact, they are now buying universities left and right. You have recreation facilities, the gambling facilities, the entertainment facilities owned by investment holding companies, etc. So everything, the whole economy, the whole chain is practically controlled by the top 1,000 conglomerates, or your 0.3%. So we need to assess the value chain. Who owns, who controls, no? And then we ask ourselves, where are the poor? Where are the micro? Where are the small in the value chain? Are they coordinating themselves so that they could move up the value chain? They could own the value chain. No? So sa production pa lang, most of the poor are there. No? But when it comes to processing, wala na. No? Especially if semi-processed yan and then we export the market like copra. No? And then, who are the consolidators? Are the poor there? Do they have a negotiating power with the consolidators or the traders? No? Who are the retailers? No? That goes into the domestic market. And then, the consuming public. The question is, where in the value chain is the environmental impact created? That's another bottom line that we want to look at. And hopefully, in the two examples, in the two presentations later, this would be cited, no? And how the poor coordinates with each other in the process of the whole chain. Next. The developing social enterprises in value chains of strategic economic subsectors has this rationale. No? A single social enterprise interventions are very limited in terms of impact and sustainability. No man is an island. No enterprise is an island. A poor household, a group of poor farmers can't live without coordinating with other farmers and with the like-minded groups in the community so that they could coordinate, they could do mutual assistance, they could go into bayanihan. The importance of interventions at the level of economic subsectors is being supported. The network of related actors and enterprises performing various functions in competing value chains should be analyzed and encouraged. And it may be identified by major raw material source, finished product, or final service provided. No? And further, strategic economic sectors have a potential for growth. No? And large numbers of the poor are players or could become players. No? Who would imagine 10 years ago na meron tayong menu dyan ng brown sugar? No? Walang brown sugar 10 or 20 years ago. Muscovado is now becoming a regular fixture of hotels and restaurants. Legends Hotel has adopted this solidarity buying, no, for products of the poor. Who would imagine that 20 years ago merong brown rice in our menu or red rice in our menu? Wala. But slowly but surely, para masagot din yung question kanina ni Gigi, is that merong niche, no? Merong niche ang poor in the consuming system, no? Consumption system ng ano, no? Galing pa sa framework pa ng neoliberal, no? But what if we this social and solidarity economy gathers strength? No? These are the examples of strategic subsectors that we are looking at. Cocoa coir, no? Which FSSI has invested in. Muscovado sugar, of course, Alter Trade will cite this. No? Of course, there are threats, no? Because of the AFTA. Organic rice, essential oils, who would imagine na magkakaroon ng Lagundi 20 years ago? Diba? Bamboo, educational toys, school chairs, brewed coffee, dairy, organic fertilizer, etc. In fact, pagka pinasukan na ng mga conglomerates and companies siya, alam mong merong market. No? Pinasukan na ng SM o Save More yung organic rice. That is something, no? Because they think that is the new product of the future. Europe is going organic and Japan has gone organic years ago or decades ago. No? So merong market deal. Isang signal 'yon if the neoliberal system, the companies that sponsor this system is going into these subsectors. But ito yung traditional sectors that we have strength, the poor have been since time immemorial been into. No? So we have to gather more and consolidate more farms that are into these products. No? Or even not even in the single product basis. No? We have one local economic development area in Isabela that uses a combination of these subsectors or of these products into one ecosystem. No? That's Malig Valley. For example, they are into organic rice and corn. That is supportive of the organic fertilizer chain. Organic fertilizer chain is produced by another partner of FSSI, the Kapatagan Multipurpose Cooperative. No? And then they have dairy. No? We partner with DAR and the National Dairy Authority for the introduction of dairy. No? Yung pagkain ng dairy is organic silage. No? And yung organic fertilizer is conducive then for the free-range chicken and other livestock. No? In a contiguous ecosystem. So there are avenues where we can expand this collaboration or yung bayanihan or yung mutual social enterprises supporting each other. So this is what we want. No? We want triple bottom line social enterprises and their communities converging towards social and solidarity economies in an ecosystem that protects the natural zone, that utilizes the rural, suburban zones rationally. Of course, the consuming urban zones. We want protection and conservation, plus advocacy and access of upland households to livelihood, sustainable and organic agriculture in the flatlands, common service facilities owned by cooperatives and social enterprise consortiums or consortia. We want cooperatives or federations that have stakes in power and utilities, small renewable energy facilities. We want health and medical finance, Eastern Visayas health project, social health enterprise here. We want organic food and education sectors, participation of social enterprises in that sector. We want strong national cooperatives that are supportive of social entrepreneurship and sub-sector consortium poised to access the public-private partnerships, no? So that we could counteract the earlier ecosystem dominated by the conglomerates. And we have some initiatives that will follow after this overview.